Rohan and the Mountain of Dreams. Once upon a time, in a small, colorful village, nestled between two lush green hills, lived a little boy named Rohan. He was 7 years old, had big, sparkling eyes, chubby cheeks, and a smile that could melt even the grumpiest face. Everyone in the village adored Rohan because he was polite, playful, and always ready to help. But there was one small problem. Rohan hated studying. Books bored him. Pencils annoyed him. Homework made him cry. While other kids sat in neat rows reading aloud in the village school, Rohan would be gazing out the window, watching butterflies flutter or ants march in a line. He would doodle, yawn, and sometimes even sneak out to play with goats behind the school. His parents, especially his father, were very worried. "Rohan," his father would say gently, "you must study. Life is not just about play." "But Papa," Rohan would tout, "books don't have colors like flowers. Why should I learn boring things?" No one could answer in a way that made sense to him. One day, after yet another complaint from the school teacher, Rohan's father had an idea. He told Rohan, "Tomorrow, we are going on a special journey. No school, no books." Rohan's face lit up with joy. "Going to the waterfall or the mango grove?" "You'll see," his father said, smiling. The journey begins. Early next morning, they packed some food, wore their warm jackets, and began climbing up a nearby mountain called Shantivan Hill. It was a place surrounded by mystery. People believed a wise old man lived at the top of the mountain, and those who climbed it came down changed forever. As they walked, Rohan was curious. "Why are we going up here, Papa?" His father only said, "Sometimes, to understand life, we need to see it from above." The climb was tough. Rohan got tired, stumbled on rocks, and even complained, "Papa, this is harder than studying." But his father smiled. "You're doing great. Keep going." They met travelers on the way. A girl who wanted to be an artist. A man who used to be poor, but became a successful baker. An old woman who taught children in villages. Each one told Rohan their story, how they had dreams, and how learning helped them climb their own mountains. Rohan began to listen. The wise old man. Finally, after hours of climbing, they reached the top. There, under a giant tree, sat a man with a long white beard, twinkling eyes, and a calm smile. This was Dadu, the wise man of the mountain. "Welcome," he said, looking at Rohan. "So, the little adventurer has arrived." Rohan sat down, panting. "Why do people say you're wise?" Dadu chuckled. "Because I learned to listen, to read, and to grow." "But books are boring," Rohan said. Dadu didn't argue. Instead, he gave Rohan a riddle. "If you had a treasure map but didn't know how to read it, what would happen?" "I'd get lost," Rohan said. "Exactly," Dadu replied. "Learning is the map to your treasure. The treasure is your dream." Then he pointed to the view below. From the mountaintop, Rohan could see his entire village, the river, the fields, his school, and his home. It all looked small but beautiful. Dadu said, "From here, you can see clearly. That's what learning does. It lifts you." Rohan sat silently. Something in his heart stirred. The real treasure. Before they left, Dadu gave Rohan a small wooden box. Inside it was a mirror. "This is your treasure," he said. Rohan looked puzzled. "But it's just me." "Exactly," said Dadu. "You are the treasure. But you have to dig inside with learning, with curiosity, with effort. Only then will the real magic shine." A new beginning. When Rohan returned to the village, he was different. Not suddenly perfect, but something had changed. He asked questions. He sat with his books. He even read stories to his little sister. His father smiled with tears in his eyes. He's climbing another mountain now. Yes, Rohan still played. He still loved butterflies and mangoes. But now he also loved learning. Because he realized that every sentence he read, every sum he solved, and every new thing he learned was helping him reach a higher place, from where he could see the world more clearly. And many years later, Rohan did something no one expected. He became a teacher. He would sit under a tree like Dadu, telling children stories, not just from books, but from life. And when a child would say, "I don't like to study," he would smile and hand them a mirror and say, "Climb your mountain. Your treasure is waiting." Moreover of the story, every child has a treasure inside. Learning is not about being perfect. It's about discovering who you are. When we learn, we climb higher. When we climb higher, we see farther. And when we see farther, we start to dream bigger.